Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we are back in my Hobonichi Cousin, and yes, I am back in my case. I cannot figure out what I want my Hobonichi to look like, so it's back in my Hobonichi case, which I do have linked down below if you're ever interested in anything that you see in my cousin. For this video, we're going to be doing a flip through of kind of like how July went. So basically, in this video, I'm going to be going through my yearly, my monthly, my weekly, and my daily spreads in my Hobonichi Cousin for the month of July, kind of talking about my spreads, what I did, what I didn't do, what I liked, what I didn't like, all of that kind of stuff. So if you'd be interested to kind of see some ideas on some spreads and how I use my Hobonichi Cousin, then go ahead and keep watching. So the first spread that we are going to be looking at is my at a glance for the month of July. I use this to track right now 4 habits, and we have a total of 6 moods. So I have over here, which I'm not sure if you can see, this next month in September, I think I'm gonna move to colored pens and not my markers, just because they do show up kind of light. But I have gray is workout, yellow is closing my rings, blue is 64 ounces of water, and then pink is if I did an Etsy sale. So going from the top to the bottom, I have my sub count and the number of pages read. I don't know what happened in July. I was doing really well with my YouTube channel, and I don't know if I just wasn't hitting search or I just wasn't hitting home pages. I'm not sure, but I only grew by 9 subscribers, but that's still awesome. I've said this time and time again in other videos. I only did this for myself. I never really thought that I was going to get anybody to actually follow me. So every subscriber is amazing to me. But so I'm now at the end of July, I was up to 1,059. And this month is actually, I think, the highest amount of pages, and I think the highest amount of pages I've ever read ever in my entire life. And I read 4,797 pages. And going with that, if you like reading type of content, I do have a reading channel, which I'll also link down below and maybe on the screen. But I read almost 5,000 pages in July, which was crazy. And then looking at my habits, the first part of the month, I was really good on working out, closing my rings. Water has still not been something that has been doing very well with me. And my Etsy sales, I only had 1 Etsy sale for the entire month. So that's another one that I don't know what's going on with. But the first part of the month for working out and closing my rings, I did really well. And it was great. But then on the 12th of July, my mood went down to the meh, and I don't know what it was. I think I had some kind of stomach bug. I'm not sure, but I didn't feel good. I was tired, and I was just not motivated to work out when you're in that kind of headspace. So these X's were my planned workouts that I did not do. So basically the entire month of July, except for the first week and a half, I didn't do any exercising. I didn't close rings. I did some drinking some water just because that was kind of helping me feel better. But once I got out of the habit of working out, I was just not motivated to try to go back. So I was really bad in this month from just really prompting from that whatever stomach bug that I had. So that was not good. Starting in August, I'm now going back. I have a routine. I'm trying to build back up again. So hopefully that will not be the case in August. But July definitely wasn't the best month of the year so far. For subscribers, for workouts, for just overall feeling. It just wasn't there for me. So that is my yearly. I'm gonna go to the monthly spread, and I use this monthly spread as a weather tracker because I want to go back and in 2024, if I want to see kind of how the weather has changed from 2023, I wanted to see kind of what the highs and lows were, just that way I can kind of get an idea of what to anticipate in next year, because I did just move to Alabama. I've only been here for a couple of almost 2 years now, going on 2 years now. So I use this for weather. I don't know if I'm going to continue doing that in 2024, but this is what I do right now. Overall, the highs in my local area were ranging from 84 degrees to 97. The lows were 63 to 75. So it was definitely getting up there in the hotter type temperatures. And so far, the month of August has been hot as well. So I'm curious to see what August is going to hold, like when it's going to start going down in temperature again, because I'm ready for fall. Is anybody else ready for fall? If you're ready for fall, drop me an emoji down below of like leaves or something, because I am so ready. So ready for fall. So ready for fall. Okay, so this is my monthly spread. And so now we're going to flip to my weekly spreads for July. This spread I think I already talked about for the month of my like June wrap up, so we won't talk about that. This was the first full week of July. So I didn't do anything different outside of, I did have some red and white and some blue washi that I ended up using. And then I used everything else. All of these little stars were just stencils, and using a multi-pen and just kind of drew red and white, not red and white, red and blue stars just to kind of decorate the spread. So it was a change in pace, and it was definitely something that I enjoyed. It was much more time consuming trying to draw in the stars, but I still like the spread overall. So this spread is, I'm not sure if you can really see the colors, but it's more of a pastel-y type thing. So I had like each week or each day of the week was a different color. So I had different Tombow colors. So I had like a teal color, a pink color, a yellow, purple, and then like a blue color. Just that way I used that for all of my appointments as something a little bit differently. But it pretty much is, it's very bare. It's very simplistic. I'm a very simplistic planner, very minimalistic. I write down what's going on. I add emojis to kind of highlight what was going on. And that's kind of how I do my plan. This next week was using my, what is it called? A new chapter, I think. I think it's a new chapter. I used that for the Hobonichi kit, and it was more of a brown and blue. And I actually really did enjoy this kit. I am not a very big person on stickers. As I said just a minute ago, I'm very minimalistic, I use this functionally, so I don't like a lot of stickers all over the place. The body of what I use this for is to actually track my appointments, my errands, and what I do during the day, and then the stickers just kind of offset that. So I don't use a lot of kits, but I originally saw this and knew I was going to like it because 1, it's books. I love books. 2, it's like neutral colors, which that is right up my alley. And then 3, it has like coffee on it. Like there's a little coffee and reading and candles. And that just speaks to me. I love that. So that is kind of what this was. On all of my spreads, I usually have this bottom part is where I write all of my reading down, like what I'm reading and how far along I am in that book, along with my food, if you haven't noticed. But I really did enjoy this spread. It's stickers, but it's not too much stickers. Just like the perfect balance. And then this is the last week of July. This one I used a Sterling Ink subscription kit. This is their, I believe, August kit. I really did like the purple. I think these are figs. I asked someone in one of my plan with me's, and they had commented that they think it's a fig. I had no idea what it is, but I really like the purple. I like Sterling Ink's clear matte stickers just because they're so seamless and there's not a lot of overlap. Or a lot of, they're very flush with the paper. So you don't have a lot of bulges and things on the other side whenever you're trying to write. I really do like that. So I do like this. This is much more stickery, I guess that's a word. This definitely has more stickers than I typically do. But I did like the spread. It does seem at some points kind of busy to me, but I did like it. One of the big highlights of this week was that my daughter had her 6th birthday party, or her 6th birthday, and so that was a really exciting day. So that takes care of the weekly spreads. So now we're going to go to the daily. So the first thing I want to do is the very beginning of the month, I always use this like blank page, as usually it's like my goals or my TBR, or sometimes both. If I ever write down goals, I never ever meet them. I don't know what it is. As soon as I write it down, it goes out the window immediately. So the goals that I had for this week was I did want to try to lose some weight, and then I also were on a book buying ban. Neither one of those actually succeeded. So that was interesting. And then up here I had my TBR. I was able to read all of my books on my TBR with the exception of 2. I did not read Little Women, and I started Capturing the Devil at the very end of July. I have still reading it. It's now August the 4th. I have not finished it, but I did read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books. Actually, I think there's 11. I think I didn't write one down. Either 10 or 11 books so far, or that I read in the month of July. So if you're interested to see any kind of like reviews or thoughts on any of my books, then check out my reading channel because I'm going to be doing a video on my wrap-up coming soon. So for my daily spreads, I have a Canon Ivy that I use to print out pictures on. They're on sticker paper, and so I use daily pages for journaling and putting pictures like memorabilia type thing, and then I use the emojis to kind of offset what's happening. So the beginning of the month, my dog had to go in for surgery because she had some cancerous like mass on her, so she had to have surgery. So she is in this cone, and then we had to take her back because things were going, some things were happening. So she had to get a different cone. We had to take her back to the doctor several times. So that was not fun. On July the 6th, I took my daughters to a local like minor league baseball game in my area. We left literally at the second inning, and at the end of the second inning, it was already like 13-0, and we were not winning. So we ended up leaving because it ended up having some rain anyways. But I looked, and we ended up losing that game 29-3. So it's definitely not a game that I was going to be excited to stay and watch. This was me taking my youngest to a gymnastics, like an indoor gymnastics little gym. We had Amazon Prime Day. I bought a bunch of different orders, different things, probably like everybody else did. We did have my 20th wedding anniversary was on the 12th. So we went out to like a barbecue restaurant to celebrate. And this is from 20 years ago. Not much. Oh, I did end up in my Amazon Prime Day. I did buy some new Muji pens. I bought the Muji 0.5. I was previously using the Muji 0.38. I do like both, but I did want to try seeing what the 0.5 was compared to the 0.38. I really I go back and forth between them. I like them both equally. I was afraid the 0.5 was going to be too thick or it was going to smear, but that's not the case. I absolutely love those pens on this paper. This is me using the 0.38, and then I start using the 0.5 on this page. So just a little bit thicker, a little bit bolder than what the 0.38 has, but they're really great options. I have those also linked down below. On July the 20th, my youngest had her second tooth. She ripped it out, so she lost her second tooth. She was very excited that she got some money from the Tooth Fairy. And this was me I spend a lot of my time, if it's a nice day at least, and it's not too hot, outside in my covered back patio on my hammock. So this is me reading one of my books, enjoying that relaxing day. This was my youngest birthday. It was Barbie themed, like we had Barbies everywhere, so all she got were Barbies, and then she had a Barbie cake, so she was thrilled. We have not seen the Barbie movie. We will be seeing it as soon as it comes out on streaming service, because I'm not taking a 6-year-old to the movie theater because she will not sit still, and she'll have to go to the bathroom 5 times in the movie, and she'll want to walk around, and she'll want to have popcorn, and then she'll want to get up. So it's just too much. And we're not doing the movie theater until she gets older, and so we will wait for Barbie to come out on a streaming service, and then we will watch it, and I'm sure she will love it. This was my youngest at another gymnastics place. We love gymnastics in this house. This was I think the second time I broke my book buying ban. I went to Second and Charles, and I ended up finding one of their sales where I was able to get In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, the Atlas 6, Red Rising, Winter, and then As Seen on TV. So there were a bunch of, specifically Red Rising and the Atlas 6 and Winter. I have not been able to find those used ever. And so as soon as I saw that they were there, I had to snatch them up. And then In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, I've wanted to find that. I just hadn't had a chance to see it used, because I only buy used books for the most part, unless it's like a book that I just know I want to read right now and I'm not going to wait for it to come in and used. So I ended up buying those books. I did beforehand, probably a few weeks prior to this. I went back to Second and Charles and they had another sale, and I was able to get a bunch of the Shatter Me series used. So I ended up having to buy those because that was the first time I've ever seen those used. So my book buying ban went out the window with those 2 trips. And then that takes us to the end of July. I didn't have a lot of pictures or a lot of, you know, things happening in July. Like I said, I didn't feel good, you know, through part of the month. And so I didn't have a lot to really document other than just, you know, my day. I didn't have any pictures or anything that really highlighted something important or something noteworthy of that particular day. So I use these primarily just to kind of document, you know, what I did during the day, how my work was going, how, you know, if I wasn't feeling well, sometimes I'll document that. But overall, it was just kind of a meh month. Hopefully August will be better. August did start school, so that's good. The girls are back at school now. Very excited about that. So hopefully moods will change. I absolutely love fall. That's probably one of my favorite seasons. I love long sleeves, sweatshirts, sitting outside and like a nice cool breeze. That's like chef's kiss to me. So hopefully August does so well and a lot of good things happen in the month of August, but we will see. And with that, that's all that I have. I appreciate everybody who has watched so far. If you like fall like I do, make sure you drop me that like leaf emoji if you're like me and that's like your favorite month or your favorite season. So with that, that is all that I have. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.